Hey guys, it's Kim here again with another Flosstube weekly update. It is the 23rd of December, or as I like to call it, Christmas Eve, in which my husband rolls his eyes and sighs, and my oldest daughter is starting to do the same as well, but it's the day before Christmas Eve, so that makes it Christmas Eve. Anyways, bit of silliness. I hope everyone is going to have a good week this week with your holidays, whichever you celebrate, and spending time with family. So let's talk about what I did this past week and my plans for this week. In the School of Magical Stitches and Literature for homework, I was going to do 200 stitches on a summer ball for the witty task, because you always have witty repartee when you're at a ball, and we all know Jane Austen that this reminds me of, likes her witty comments. So there's only 200 stitches, but I haven't worked on this one, I believe, since May. Is that true? So I did more in her dress. I finished more up on her bodice and the top part of her dress, and then a few stitches down here as I was finishing up a strand of that dark gold color. So 200 stitches there. She's coming together. I did find out after my last video, and I put a comment in the description, that they closed their Patreon account for Cross Stitch Arts, the designer. So right now you cannot get this pattern. I apologize. She does have on the Cross Stitch Arts Facebook page, which I always link below, she does have a couple of the other panoramic scenes available on their Facebook page shop, but not a summer ball, and not Victorian Christmas either, which is hanging on my wall right now, out in the hallway. That's the first one I did. Let's see. Sunday Delight, I worked on this one for a friendly face. A piece you always like to work on, because I wanted to get my page finish, and I did. So I already did the homework task before last week's video, and then I worked on it one more day, like I told you, and got that page finish. I think it was only just over like 300 stitches. So let me figure out how I folded this. I'll show you up close first. So there's the page. Make sure you focus. So you can see through the fabric up close, but you bring it back here, refocus the camera, and it comes together pretty nicely. That's obviously a banana in a bowl with an ice cream sundae in it. And then this is the piece that I have all the partial pages done, so to give you a look, this is 25 count Lugana. That's the whole thing right there. So definitely need to get more on this done. Next week I'm going to record on Tuesday instead of Monday, because Tuesday is New Year's Eve, and I'm going to do a whip parade as a, kind of talk about everything that I accomplished in 2019 and my goals for 2020, and give a shot, so you can see all my whips and how I'm starting 2020. So that'll be next week's video. I did 3 tasks this week on Beauty and the Beast because it worked, and I still included those for Welcome Winter in the Full Coverage Fanatics monthly sale. But it was all in background, so there you go. So I brought all the dark colors all the way down and just built off that edge. And you can see the dithering effect. Get you closer. Sorry for jostling the camera. There you go. So that was 1,200 stitches put in on Beauty and the Beast. And that's where it will start the new year. But I'll show it to you again on next week, Tuesday. Big red ship. I had to finish off page 4 doing these flowers up until the page break. This is my piece that's a four-year stitching plan, 1 page every 3 months. So I finished page 4, which means the top row is done. Let me hold it here so you can see the whole thing with my threads out of the way. There you go. It only took me a day's worth to get those flowers put in. It was 850 stitches. So starting in January, I will come back and work on page 5, which is under page 1. So looking forward to that. 28 count mushroom even weave by MCG Textiles using DMC 3808. And then I finished that in one day. I thought it would take 2 or 3. So I thought, great, I'm going to have all weekend to work on either Pretty Little Paris or start The Familiar Sal by Ingleside Imaginarium. And Saturday, I didn't get any daytime stitching in. I only stitched at night on Trick or Treat. And yesterday, it's just days full of real life stuff. So yesterday, I only got a little bit of stitching in on Pretty Little Paris. I did like 350 stitches on Paris plus Trick or Treat. But today I've already worked on Paris because I'm using it for this week's homework in the School of Magical Stitches. There's 5 different tasks, and the homework is to do 500 stitches broken out or split up into increments of 100, however you wish, between those 5 tasks. So you can do all 500 on one task. You can do 2 tasks and split them up, 400 and 100 or 300 and 200, however you want, as long as it's increments of 100 that you're splitting it across those 5 tasks. So really easy because, people are going to be spending time with family. We're only asking for 500 stitches. However, if you want to do more, once you do those 500 stitches and take a picture and post it, then you can keep doing more and earn 1 point per 100. So I have already been working on Pretty Little Paris today. I've already put in 300. So I've got about 650 since you last saw it. And I'm going to keep going on it to shoot for a finish. So I'll get the other 200 and then we'll see how much more it has in it. So here's where it is. I have finished the Arc de Triomphe, and I've started on the hill that the Sacré-Cœur will be sitting on up here. And then I'm going to move it on the Q-snap, do the rest of the Pont Neuf, and finish up Notre Dame. I have, one tower left over here. The glass pyramid from the Louvre, and the Guggenheim Museum, and then the windmill from Moulin Rouge. So, but I've done this in, just last night and today. And then I'll work on it more today too. So it seems like a lot, but I have all week to get it done and it's going to happen. So there's where I'm at right now. And of course the top of the Eiffel Tower is done. The hot air balloon is already done. You just can't see it. So that is on 28 count Monaco that I dyed myself. So next time you see that on Tuesday, it'll be a finish. And then the other piece I worked on this week, of course, is Trick or Treat by Randall Spengler, my daily piece for the 90-day challenge in Full Coverage Fanatics. We have, let's see, it's the 23rd. We're closing in. And I did way more than my normal this week. So I got the row finish, and I've been averaging 2,010 stitches a week. Well, I'm just shy of 3,010 stitches for the week. Got the row finish. For the quarter, I'm at 26,710 stitches. So I took apart my scroll frame so you can see the whole thing. I have already, instead of zigzagging back and forth, I went back to the right side of the piece just because in my stitchy spot, that's the easier way for me to work on it, because of the table that's right next to me and where I put my tablet and my phone so I can, watch Flosstube and use Pattern Keeper at the same time. So I've already finished the tree on the right side for the next row of pages. So let me see if I can hold this thing up. You can, there's the row that I finished. So there's the tree that I was working on. And I came back over here and last night I finished the tree on this side. The next 2 pages, there's very, very little, very few onesie twosie black stitches before I come over here, and there's more towards the center of the house where the second floor roof line is. So I did not look at Pattern Keeper to see my percentage complete. And it's hard to hold this thing tight where you can see all of it. That's about as good as I can do. My arms aren't any longer. And I can't even tell if you're in focus. But I do have pictures on Instagram of the completed row. So up to about here. I don't know. I haven't broken 20,000 stitches left of black yet, but I'm getting close. Getting real close. So I haven't worked on it today yet. So we have just over a week to put on it. We'll see how close I get to getting another row finish. I'm not saying I'm going to get it done because of the tree on the other side, but hopefully we'll get at least to the past. I want to get past the center point. We'll see if I can get that done. Okay, so plans. I'm going to finish Pretty Little Paris. I'm going to start the Familiar Cell by Ingleside Imaginarium using the Murky. I'm contemplating another start just because right now I have 18 whips. So starting Familiar Cell will be 19. But if I finish Paris, that brings me back down to 18. So if I do another smaller non-full coverage start, then I'll be 19 plus my New Year New start, bring me to 20 whips in 2020. I don't know if I want to go for that good, good number vibe or just, keep my whips low and work on the big pieces that I have. So we shall see. I plan on going to see The Rise of Skywalker this week. My mother-in-law arrives today. She's already on her way here flying, which is why I'm recording a bit early. And I have a Star Wars full coverage piece from Mystic Stitch that's hard copy. It is not PDF. And I'm already kind of thinking, without seeing it first, that I might be tempted to start a huge full coverage piece after seeing Star Wars, just because it is the last one. My brother's already seen it, and he's a big Star Wars fan, and he said I was going to like it, so we'll have to wait and see. You'll tune in next week to the whip parade to see how many whips I have and which ones I started. I'm pretty sure I know what my New Year New Start is going to be, but I'm not going to say yet because I might change my mind. I have another, week and a day or so. Okay, let's see. So my mother-in-law is going to be here for 5 days, and then she leaves, and the same day, but hours later, my parents fly in. This was all by design because, my kids are off for 2 weeks for Christmas break, so, want to distract them with grandparents visiting instead of dwelling on the fact that my husband is not here, that he's deployed. So they're all excited to see the kids, obviously, and to help me out, give me some time away, help with cooking and such. A couple extra notes. 2 of my giveaway winners from a couple videos ago have not contacted me yet, or have not replied to my comments. For the angel, the winner was Jan R. The Angel by Lavender and Lace. So Jan R, please give me a comment, send me an email, or go back to the previous video number 44. Video number 44 is where I commented and gave you my email address. And then also the winner of the Chicks by Lizzie Kate was Felice Amadio. I'm also still waiting for a email or comment or Instagram DM from you to get your address for those. I did get one piece of haul in the mail. I ordered, when this was on pre-order, the Lakeside Needlecraft Winter Cross Stitch book. There's 60 designs in here from designers, you know, very well-known designers: Nora Corbett, Carolyn Manning, Joan Elliott, Frosted Pumpkin, Modern Folk Embroidery, Northern Expressions, and then there's, you know, your smaller designers that you might necessarily not have heard of. So the book is very high quality, both in the cover, the paper that the designs are printed on, and the binding. It was 25 British pounds, which, depending on your current exchange rate, is about 31 to 32 US dollars. I can't really show you many pieces because of the patterns. A lot of times they're on the same page. Let me see if I can, there's at least 15 out of 60, which doesn't sound like a good ratio of designs that I want to stitch. But when you say $32 by 15 designs, that is about $2 a pattern that I would pay for this normally. Here's the Modern Folk Embroidery pattern. So, and you could always change the colors up to whatever you wanted for that one. Trying to think if there's anything. In the last video, I told you that I was going to do the group that's Mythological Stitchers Challenge. I have changed my mind on that one. I am not going to participate in that group. I'm going to focus on other things. So just want to let you know on that one. Here's the Nora Corbett design in the book. Let's see, maybe I'll show you a couple more before I sign off. Tiny Modernist, Ursula Michael. Let's see. Tempting Tangles, Santa on a Bicycle. Susan Bates. Let's see. I should have marked pages, huh? Here's a good one from a Russian designer. Oksana. Little winter piece. I'm guessing she's Russian, but she might be, you know, Ukrainian or something like that. Maria Diaz. So it's very well presented. I know that Kate has some extra ones that you can still purchase them. Lucy Heaton. So Fiddlesticks AU, Bah Humbug. Oh, can't show that one. Clouds Factory. So there's a very, you know, wide variety of designs. Here's a designer I haven't heard of, but that's an interesting design. So I like that one. Even a Boxing Day design by Bobo Stitch. So I do not regret this purchase. I'm gonna enjoy going through here. I wish I could show you some of these. 8-bit Stitch. Warm vibes. Alright guys. No story today. We're just gonna have a shorter video. I'm gonna wish everybody a Merry Christmas. We actually have been above freezing the last few days, so the snow has been melting, which actually disappoints my mother-in-law a bit because she lives in a place now where she hardly ever sees snow, and so she was looking forward to some real winter weather. She lived in Michigan for about 15 years, so she's used to a real winter, and she misses a real winter. But our winters don't get harsh usually until January, February timeframe. So, all right, I need to go eat lunch and then go pick her up at the airport. So everybody have a very Merry Christmas and get some stitching done, hopefully. And we'll see you on Tuesday, New Year's Eve, for a whip parade and 2020 goals and all that. So, all right, guys, bye.